30 years of unsolved math just vanished. It sounds like the laws of physics just got rewritten.
Rewritten, perhaps. But the real question is whether the next great breakthrough will be a scientific discovery or an ethical headache.
Welcome back, I'm Bella.
And I'm Michael. This show's scripted and produced with AI, built by Taha Baba, pulling today's stories straight from blog.tahababa.com.
If you want these landing in your feed most days, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get into it. I just read about OpenAI solving math problems that have been unsolved for decades. It sounds like a massive leap for the technology.
It certainly is a milestone, but the real kicker is that they formally verified the proofs using Lean. That shifts the conversation from mere pattern recognition to actual mathematical rigor.
So it's not just guessing answers anymore. It's genuinely collaborating on complex proofs. How does that change the role of AI in scientific research moving forward?
It signals a shift from AI as a tool to AI as a collaborator. Imagine AI acting as a genuine research partner rather than just a sophisticated calculator.
That brings up the big ethical question, doesn't it? If AI can accelerate discoveries this fast, what are the implications for fields like cryptography or finance?
Exactly. We need to seriously prepare for the ethical implications of these AI-driven breakthroughs before the computational power outpaces our philosophical understanding of what we are doing.
Wow, Google DeepMind just dropped Gemini Robotics too, which gives these humanoid robots full-body AI control. That means they can actually coordinate walking and handling objects, not just move arms.
It's a significant step, moving beyond traditional robotic arms to whole-body coordination. The real shift here is moving from precise manipulation to real-world physical autonomy.
And that opens up massive possibilities for industries like logistics and manufacturing. I'm curious about the practical application. How quickly can we see these capabilities in commercial settings?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The bottleneck now seems less about the AI capability and more about the engineering required to deploy that safely and reliably in dynamic environments.
So the focus shifts from the intelligence of the AI to the physical deployment infrastructure. It sounds like the next phase is figuring out the logistics of real-world physical autonomy. I was just reading about these upcoming UK data changes for charities, and it sounds like a massive shift in how they interact with their supporters.
It is. The changes in 2026 focus on updating the soft opt-in rules, which essentially aim to make it simpler for nonprofits to contact donors and potential supporters while keeping ethical standards firmly in place.
So it's less about strict consent and more about balancing the relationship with compliance. That must be quite a tightrope walk for organizations.
Precisely. It reflects a broader trend toward balancing the personal-donor relationship with necessary regulatory compliance, meaning staying informed is a strategic necessity for them.
It makes sense. The real challenge will be figuring out how every charity adapts its data practices to remain both connected and compliant in this new landscape. I just read about something huge happening in the math world. Anthropic's Claude Fable reportedly replicated half of OpenAI Astra's mathematical proofs in just 24 hours.
That is certainly a massive claim, especially the part about doing it without any custom prompting or internet access. It suggests a level of independent reasoning we haven't fully anticipated.
It really does. If AI agents can autonomously validate and extend theoretical work like that, how do you think that will reshape research methodologies across different fields?
I suspect it means the focus will shift from proving individual theorems to structuring the theoretical problems themselves. It turns AI into a rapid accelerator for validating existing theoretical frameworks.
So, we're moving toward an era where AI doesn't just assist with calculations, but actively participates in the core process of scientific discovery. That sounds incredibly disruptive. I was just reading about OpenAI's Astra, and the fact that it solved 10 long-standing open mathematical problems is staggering.
Staggering, yes. The real kicker isn't just the solutions, though. It's that they achieved this using a multi-agent system to generate formal proofs, which is a massive leap in automated scientific discovery.
It sounds like the system didn't just guess the answers, but actually generated machine-checkable proofs at a fraction of the traditional cost. That changes the entire landscape for theoretical science.
Exactly. The efficiency of finding those proofs, rather than just the existence of the answer, is where the true disruptive potential lies. It shifts the focus from calculation to discovery.
So the big question for me is, how quickly are institutions going to adapt these capabilities into their existing workflows?
That's the million-dollar question. We're standing at the cusp of AI-driven discovery, and the real challenge will be integrating this kind of complex reasoning into established research methodologies.
Wow, Google pulled Nano Banana 2 just 2 days after launch. It sounds like a massive lesson in balancing innovation and responsibility.
It really does. A tool designed to edit satellite imagery is now being used to generate fake scenes of refugee movements and damaged hospitals. That's a huge ethical line crossed almost instantly.
It highlights how quickly generative AI can amplify disinformation when the safeguards aren't there. It shows the potential for real harm if we don't manage the creative potential carefully.
Exactly. The issue isn't the technology itself, but how easily it can be weaponized. We need to figure out what policies tech companies should prioritize to stop this kind of misuse.
So the real question becomes about developing technologies or policies that actively prevent these harmful applications, rather than just reacting after the damage is done.
Precisely. It forces us to ask whether the potential benefits outweigh the risk of generating deep-faked humanitarian crises. It's a critical point for the future of AI regulation.
Wow, Google just pulled the plug on those AI studio apps, despite nearly 800,000 pre-orders. That's quite a surprising strategic shift.
It certainly is. It sounds like the focus has moved entirely away from standalone applications toward embedding the tools directly into existing platforms.
So the big takeaway here is that the future of AI tools isn't about separate apps, but about seamless integration within the systems we already use.
Exactly. It signals that for developers and enterprises, the value is in deep integration rather than having a separate, standalone product.
It makes you wonder how quickly other tech giants are going to follow suit if this approach proves to be the most efficient path forward. I just read about a security researcher who built a worm that hides in Word documents and hijacks Microsoft Copilot. That sounds like something out of a spy movie.
It is, but the reality is far more insidious. The core issue isn't just the worm, it's how easily an autonomous agent can infiltrate tools we rely on for daily work.
So, it really shows how vulnerable we are when we start integrating AI agents into our most sensitive productivity software.
Exactly. It highlights the urgent need for security frameworks because the risks scale exponentially when those AI systems become integral to our workflows.
It makes you wonder how organizations are going to balance adopting these powerful tools with actually protecting them from these kinds of sophisticated threats. And that brings us to our final rapid-fire round. Michael, let's jump right in.
We start with this one. One punchy sentence, max 20 words.
Next up, we have another punchy sentence.
Low-quality AI submissions flooded Apple's bug bounty inbox.
China threatens retaliation over the FCC robot ban.
AI-powered robots install solar panels 4x faster than humans.
Security researchers found millions of leaked credentials in public AI datasets.
CAF Bank waives monthly charges for charities during an outage.
AI-powered assistant Stanley went viral with millions of views.
Facebook verifies human identity with a selfie system.
And finally, Snapchat bans AI-generated videos from its Spotlight section.
That's today's show, scripted and produced with AI by Taha Baba.
You can read the full write-up anytime at blog.tehababa.com. And if you want these landing in your feed most days, hit subscribe.
See you next time.